We are almost there. It is almost the end of the semester. It has been an amazing journey, hasn't it? When you think of everything you've been exposed to, all those discussion boards, all those videos that you produced and watched, and then the journals, and now the textbook. It's a lot. You were supposed to feel as if you were immersed in oral communication. And I hope now that you'll never look at a speaker the same, because now you have some insight into the background of what goes into a good public presentation and how you connect to your audience, because that's what it's really all about. I am putting up the final exam before the final exam is due for you to peruse and to get ready for. The final exam officially starts on May 5th and ends on May 14th. It's very important to know the end date because there is no grace period. That end date is the end of the semester. Everything is due, everything is over. So if you write to me on May 15th, I'm going to commiserate with you and feel sad for you, but say you missed the deadline. So plan on it. Plan on getting it way early so that you can relax and you can focus on your other final exams of your other classes. I've put the handout up in a module that you will see. For some of you, it's module 11. For some of you, it's module 13. But look for it. And it says, let's see, I'm going to read what it says now. It says, Final Exam, COM 104. And there are 4 parts to the final exam, 4 separate but equal parts. One is on the discussion boards, where you're going to select 1 or 2 discussion boards and follow my prompts and do a review. The next is on the journals, where you're going to select 1 or 2 of your classmates and do a review of your journal entries for that person. Even if you never did one originally, you still can do a journal entry on one of your classmates, and you can follow the prompts that I give you in the handout. The third is on the textbook itself. There are 16 chapters in the textbook, and although we've never formally assigned the chapters, they are there. They're about 10 minutes it takes to read. They're short. I suggest perhaps chapter 14, because that's on online education, or chapter 1 and 2, where you get a lot of the foundational work. But you can look at all 16 chapters to see the topics and start reading them. You might end up reading 2 or 3 or 4 chapters or more. I think you will, when you're reading them, it'll sound very familiar to you because you just had the course. And perhaps some of you have been using the text all along as a support system. That's what it was there for, support as you needed it. But I know if you don't get assigned, you don't always look. But it's really a great idea to look now and really give you a sense of what you've learned. Because if you're reading the chapter and you're saying, yes, I know about that, yes, I know about that, you have then really taken in the real spirit of this class, because you know, you're familiar, you've had the experience, and no one can take that away from you. The 4th level of the final exam is self-reflection, and you will read what I say in the prompts there. But it's about your communication story, about your public speaking experience in the past, what has happened for you now in this class, any reflection, and in the future. 4 sections, 4 separate pieces to the final exam. It does not get all melded together. It's 4 individual essays, if you will. If you choose the essay option, then you will be writing 1 page per section. So I say 3 to 4 paragraphs per category, 3 or 4 paragraphs on the journals, 3 or 4 paragraphs on the discussion board, 3 or 4 paragraphs on the textbook, 3 or 4 paragraphs on your self-reflection. And you can do these in any order. I know I just mixed up the order from what I have on the handout. It won't matter, but they're distinct. They're of their own. Now, if you choose to, and I only do this for my online classes, you can do a voice. You can do it as a video. I say 4 to 6 minutes maybe, but 1 minute talking about the journals, 1 minute about the discussion boards, 1 minute about the chapter, 1 minute about self-reflection, and then you're done. So you can do it orally. This is the exact final exam that I give to my face-to-face classes. They've done all their presentations face-to-face, and they don't do voice thread, so it's a written exam. and they're allowed to come in with their computer and their notes, and they get 2 hours to do this exam. So you have many more days than that. But if you're like me, you can put things off until they become like major. So find a time from May 5th on. Don't wait until May 14th. Please don't. To say, I'm going to give myself 2 hours. I'm going to concentrate on this handout. I'm going to write down my answers and either do it written, or I'm going to write down my answers or write down an outline of my answers and then record my answers for the final exam. You deserve a time to shine. You deserve a time to like show off a little bit of what you know. And it's good for you to have a final exam, and it's good for me to see the final exam. And please be conscientious. Some of you, when you wrote your discussion boards and your journals, you wrote very small paragraphs. These have to fill a page. So the paragraphs should be with more depth, more content, more examples. So realize this is a final exam. This is not just a homework assignment. And the same thing with the audio. You should make sure you practice beforehand. Prepare well. Don't just wing it. Because if you wing it and you're like thinking and you're speaking, I'm going to say, not final exam worthy. So be proud of what you present. I'm already proud of you. And enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment when you get to shine. Thank you so much, class. I'm so glad you were in this. You were with me on this. What is it? It's right now it's April of 2025. When we finish, it'll be May of 2025. But it's springtime. I made it through without losing my voice. Yay, you've brought me good luck already.